girls, we are back again for more Rusty Crusty Boys. So, this is finally done. I'm not messing around with this anymore. I am finally going to move myself down. Let's just get rid of this light for a minute. That's a little bit too bright for our liking. I am going to start cutting the door sill out. That's what needs to happen next. It will give me an idea of what exactly I have going on inside, at the front and at the back, and then I'll be able to come up with a plan. So, to remove the sill, I'm going to wire brush this top edge and this bottom edge to identify all the spot welds. I bet you're wondering, what the hell is all this scaffolding? So because I've got such terrible rust issues, there's absolute massive hole here. There's going to be very little metal holding the car together once I cut this sill off, and the danger with that is the chassis can actually, the whole shell can flex. So to avoid that, I have built up this crazy contraption here. Basically, what's happening is I'm tying all the points together. So I've got this point tied to this point, both of these points tied to this point here, through here, and that goes all the way through the car into this leg. Then that leg is diagonally connected to that leg, and then there and there, and it's just connected everywhere. And especially on this point here, which is an important suspension mounting point, I have everything spaced out with spacers, so there is no tension on anything. Everything is just locked into place. Normally people would do weld-in braces inside of the shell, but I don't like the idea of that. So I have decided to do something a little bit different. Don't normally see things like this, but that's my way of making sure nothing flexes when I cut all of this metal out. I'm gonna cut along these lines here and also just along here once all the spot welds are drilled out, and hopefully it should just come off nice and easy. I have a new replacement panel already, and these lines where I'm gonna cut are below to where the new sill is actually gonna go, just so I've got room to play. Just to start with, I only want to take the sill off. I'm gonna do loads of different repairs inside before the new sill gets welded on. So for now, I'm leaving a lot of extra room for me to play around with, trim and do whatever. So yeah, very excited to not be messing around with the front corner of the car anymore. And even though I know how absolutely horrendous the rust inside is going to be, I'm quite looking forward to it, taking it off and just having a look at some new stuff and just trying to wrap my head around it. So sweet, time lapse. Very important thing to note, I thought there was only going to be welds on top and the bottom, and then cut it on the either side, and then that'll be it. But there is also a couple of spot welds here and here, and at the opposite end, if I actually had some metal here, there's a couple of 2 or 3 spot welds that are supposed to be here as well. So that's very important to know. I wish I knew that to start with. Yeah, now I'm just scratching my head, just looking looking in all the little areas that I've now opened up and I can see into. I thought I was gonna have a little bit more access to stuff, but yeah, just obviously a lot to think about. I'm probably, like I always do, gonna spend another 3 million hours just looking at it, trying to wrap my head around it. I have this little section here that I still need to cut off up to about there. Release it from the lip of the inner arch. Cut that, and then I think I'm gonna move on to here. I'm gonna clean all of this area up and start cutting out everything rusty, because obviously this section will have to be fixed first, and I'm gonna work my way from the inside out. But this just had to come off so that I can actually see what I need to do. Okay, so the basic plan of attack is for me to keep opening it up, so then I've got number 1 working area, so I can access everything I need to repair. Number 2, I can see what the hell I'm doing and what is going on. I think I'm gonna try to. Oh, it's really hard to film this. Such an impossible spot to try and document. But basically, this frame rail is welded to this. There is basically 2 layers of the frame rail, kind of. This is a hefty chunky piece of metal, and this is supposed to be a hefty chunky piece of metal. I'm going to try to keep the back section of this where the suspension mounting point is, but then remove all of this rustiness. But this piece is all good, so I need to drill out the spot welds that you can barely see them. This is all so rusted that I don't even know where the spot welds are, but I want to remove this piece away from this piece, cut it away, remake it, and then start welding things back onto it. But first of all, I need to cut everything around it to a point where I can understand exactly how to attack it and what's going on. Alright, let's keep our spirits up, let's just keep digging, we'll be fine. We will be absolutely fine. Okay, so I'm slowly peeling away all the layers just to work out what is even happening. This here is actually one of the frame rails, and look at it. Yeet! That's interesting. And yeah, a few more layers than I originally anticipated there. I wasn't expecting that, but then I kind of did, but kind of wasn't. Yeah, weird. I'm just gonna keep cutting away at it to find the point from which I can start working my way out. Find the first thing that's the deepest that needs repair that, and then slowly just layer things back on. Yeah, real mess under here. Real mess. I can't believe I was driving this car like this. Let me show you some of the mess I'm talking about. It is crazy. I'm just trying to wrap my head around it, and I'm just... What? I have cut a little piece, a little rusty slither. This was This was here like this. I've cut it off just to get inside a little bit better to try and understand what I'm doing. So we have a bazillion panels intermingling. And so much material has rusted away so badly that like it's impossible to tell what's supposed to be what. All I know is this suspension point where trailing arm bolts into, I've completely solidified it. So this is fine. I can keep that, and then the rest I can just freestyle. Because literally, like even looking from this way, it's just nuts. Yeah, this is gonna take a really long time, even compared to everything else. But it's fine. I just need to wrap my head around it. I need to keep dissecting it, get in there nice and deep, like, and start. I don't even know. Yeah, I'm gonna keep hacking at it, keep trying to. Yeah, and I will report back once I have any sort of an idea, because at the moment I'm just digging in deep, uncovering horrendously scary rust. A little bit overwhelming, but also we're gonna sort her out, Mark. Okay, so we have some good news and we have some bad news. We'll start with the bad. I've not been here for God knows how long. Again, time is just such a weird thing, especially when it comes to cars. I just don't even understand where time goes. It's just crazy. Life, this, that, the other, work, everything is just and then you just don't even know what day it is anymore. But good news. Before I left, I have worked a few things out and done a couple of little bits around the car to make my life a lot easier. First of all, nice clean working space. Second, I have this thing because I'm jumping in and out of the car so much, and the car has kind of got an awkward height and it's just all a bit weird. I have this here just to works as a little step for me to go in and out of the car really easily. Really nice and convenient. I've cleaned up inside the car, cleaned up around the car. This works as a little workbench as well whilst I'm messing around on this corner. And yeah, the coolest thing in my eyes is I get a little bit OCD about not having light when I'm working. So for me, it's really important to see what I'm doing. Like, I get so annoyed when I'm working in the dark. I just can't stand it. So what I've done, come with me, I will show you. So I'm working inside the car, cutting out all this mess and doing whatever. But to make my life a little bit nicer is blops. I have a light inside the car and it's just, I can see exactly what's going on, what I'm doing. I can see my tools. It's just a much nicer place to be when I've got light. Everything's tidy and good. And so the biggest thing that I have sussed out is this mess here. I know exactly what is what now. I know exactly what panel goes where, how they connect, what needs to be there, all of the spaces that I'm missing. I know exactly what's what. I had a guy on Facebook send me over. His name is Phil, by the way. What a fantastic name that is. He sent me a few pictures from like an old Ford repair manual that kind of shows like diagrams to show what panel is what, and that plus me actually digging in and cutting things out and just playing around with it and seeing what's what, I have understood the whole thing, which is like, I'm super happy about it. Yeah, I can picture exactly what goes where, how's doing it, and yeah, I just feel like a lot more confident going forward with this ridiculousness. And yeah, I still need to do a lot more cutting out. There's still loads of rust and stuff that I still need to remove before I start building things back up. But I feel good. I feel good about it. I feel confident. And yeah, let's just crack on with it. I'm gonna spend some time just cutting some more stuff out, and still not rushing myself with this. Just take it whenever I have a little bit of free time. I come and do a little bit of work. If I don't, I don't. I'm not gonna stress about it. But let's get some stuff done. So hopefully you can see what's going on. This part of the frame rail here, or a chassis rail, or whatever you want to call it, right? It doesn't matter. It's a structural piece that suspension components attached to and just holds a lot of stuff together. Is made up of two pieces. There is this panel here and this panel here. So this part is relatively okay, but as you can see, this piece, half of it is missing just through rotting away, and what I want to try and do is release the bottom part, drill out the spot welds, and then cut it about halfway, maybe to about here somewhere. Oh, I'm having a really tough time getting this panel off. Oh, it's because it's so rusty. It's so hard to see where the welds are welded. I've got one edge of it freed up. So if you have a look along here, all of this is free. I've started drilling these out. This I'm grinding here, trying to release it. And as always, the more time I spend doing this, the more ideas and stuff I'm coming up with. I've said this a million times before. So as I'm doing it, playing around, I'm definitely gonna freestyle a few things, and yeah, it should be fine. It's just really stubborn. It's crazy how like strong rust is. Like a completely rusted out piece of metal that actually is missing is holding on so strongly, and this stuff. Anyway, I'll check back once I get some more of it off, but bloody crusty piece of. Come on. In hindsight, I don't even know. I might have to like cut this. I don't even know what I'm saying because I don't know yet. I just need to slowly deconstruct it and then think about what I'm doing. Oh my god, finally it's come off. Oh. I literally have no words. But yeah, at this point I'll take small victories. That's all good. At least it's off. At least one more layer of crust is gone. So yeah, small victories. I'll take it. It's a bit of a mess up here though. Oh, it's a little bit. But yeah, I'll clean it up. I'll think about it. I'll look at it some more. The usual. So this thing was here like this, and I finally just managed to rip it off. Yeah, I made a real weird mess there, but I'm gonna clean it all up and yeah, and work out what I'm gonna do. I might cut away more material this way, get rid of this as well. This is like just surface rust here. I don't know whether I'm gonna clean this up or just cut this out. And yeah, it's a lot to think about. Only a little bit of progress, but progress is progress. Alright, I'm probably just gonna leave it for now, think about it a bit more and then come back again and do another little bit and just do it little by little. But yeah, so crusty, oh my god.